Hello, my name is Moritz. I came in touch first time with ATTP and with Vera Bühlmann at the Architecture Theory 1 and 2, and decided from there on to take the first module, Meta Architecture, and the second module, Digital Architecture. I had very good experiences with most of the courses. I also attended most of the extra courses within the modules. And I had always this metaphor sticking with me that it's kind of to assemble a meal for somebody. So it's I was always like thinking about how would a chef be going on to prepare kind of a menu. So to get in touch with the different ingredients, to experiment with the ingredients, with the flavors. To get the best and freshest ingredients, and then to develop a own recipe where all those ingredients will fit together and will in the end give a work which is enjoyable for everyone, and especially this joy working with theory and in the field of scientific work was very, very new for me. So it was not about this dry theoretical work, but it's like Vera used to say, drawing from the plenty. So it's very full, it's very rich, and this was really exciting in the courses. So I would like to introduce two works from the modules. The first work I like to show is from the course ACT with Chris and Marius. It's called Correlations. It's a 30 seconds clip on the basis of a text by Gertrude Stein's Tender Button, and there specifically the chapter on foods, and still life paintings which were also given. So it was about the text of Gertrude Stein's texts are always quite you could say there are lots of hidden hints, and there's lots of space for interpretation. So it's a really nice vehicle to transport your own imaginative story. And the images from the still lifes, they kind of gave this the basis for the creation of a space where the protagonist could move inside, and the clip more or less tells the story of the protagonist having a struggle to express their intangible desires towards another person, and the different objects inside the clip, inside the space, and how they are situated to each other and move and relate to each other, create this atmosphere of the protagonist's inner view. And the dolly camera shot takes the viewer onto this ride through this inner perspective. The second work I want to show you is called Hestia. It's from the course Code with Helen and Miro. And there my inspiration was the text from Rosie Braidotti, Nomadic Subject. And the work is basically about the project Walden 7 by Ricardo Bofill. So it's a social housing project near Barcelona. It was a pretty experimental project back in the days, and it turned out to be very controversial. There were a lot of big problems, and it kind of worked out in the end. So besides this story to the project, there is the story of the Bofill family's legacy. They're a three-generation family of architects, where all the male characters of this family were quite known architects in their time. And to interweave these different stories within each other, I took concepts like the hermit and the host, and the nomad from Rosie Braidotti. So it turned out to be somehow an answer to the question, can architecture be a synthetic persona? And in the work, Walden, I imagined Walden as kind of this nomadic mother figure who cares about her inhabitants. I call them children. It turns out to also have a relation to her architect, and this kind of turned out to be like a layer cake of those different perspectives and stories, which on the one hand take place inside the project, so within the walls of the project, but also are kind of this whole universe where the project is situated in. So it's, And I like to read the first few sentences, the first page to you. I am Walden, and I'm a nomad. I mean, not me as a building of stone and bricks, but as a concept. I am moving through situations, places, and times within myself, and through the movement of my characters. Mother arranged a feast for my return. Everybody is there. Grandfather, and even Gabo, the housekeeper, who usually sits in his booth at the entrance door. My family's dinner table is standing in the middle of the courtyard. Golden sunbeams illuminate the blue walls, and I have mixed feelings being in this all too familiar surrounding. Grandfather, the first in a legacy of builders other than Papa, loves all his projects. He admires me every time he comes and checks for my well-being. The old patriarch stands up, clinging onto his glass, waiting for everybody to stop their conversation so he can announce a speech. The place where she lived and worked for a long time now always offered more than enough new experiences and adventures. The country and the region were not the ones in which she had been born, and started in childhood she had lived in several altogether different lands and landscapes. Walden 7. Why did they call me like that? It may just be a number between 6 and 8. Everything changes but the numbers. At least those naming the floors in the lift, those at the apartment doors, and then the names of my walkways, they did not change for years. Kafka, Einstein and Neruda do not move a bit. They sit stubborn on their signs, while everyone else is hurrying by and moving in and out, rebuilding and enlarging. I think the experiences I made in the courses they already have influenced me in my work and in my ways I'm working now, and also in the way I see architecture. And yeah, I want to go about doing projects. I think has a lot to do with sensitivity to very deep-rooted subjects which everyone in our profession encounters doing projects. And right now I'm working at ATTP. I'm doing courses in my master's. I think it's really for people who are curious, who like to experiment, who like to develop, like I said, and kind of their own style, their own way to work the flavors, and who are interested in the world and the human. So it's very broad, it's very open, and it's very rich.